Good morning. Last class we have solved numerical problems on bar of varying cross section and bar of varying cross section subjected to number of forces. Let us consider another simple problem on bar of varying cross section. A steel bar 4 meter long is 32 millimeter diameter for 1 meter length, 28 millimeter diameter for 2 meter length and 25 millimeter diameter for the remaining length. The bar is in tension the stress on the smaller section is 110 Newton per millimeter square. Stop. Find the total expansion of the bar by taking Young's modulus E is equal to 210 GPa. Again it is a simple problem. Only thing is problem is given in descriptive form and we have to write the figure. A steel bar 4 meter long is 32 millimeter diameter for 1 meter length, 38 millimeter diameter for 2 meter length and 25 millimeter diameter for the remaining length. The bar is in tension. The stress on the smaller section is 110 Newton per millimeter square. Find the total expansion of the bar by taking E is equal to 210 GPa. Let us draw the figure. A steel bar 32 millimeter in diameter for first 1 meter length, .28 millimeter diameter for 2 meter length, and 25 millimeter diameter in diameter for the remaining length. So total length of the bar is 4 meter, out of which the first length is 1 meter and second length is 2 meter, means 2 plus 1 3 meter, 300. Remaining length is 1 meter. This diameter is 25 millimeter. The bar is in tension. Applied load is not given. Let us consider the body is subjected to a tensile force of P, axial tensile force of P, and given Young's modulus of the bar as 210 GPa. For this, asked to find the total expansion, and also given stress in the smaller portion as 110 Newton per millimeter square. Let us quickly write the given data. Given L1, if you consider this as number 1, 2, 3, here it is a bar of varying cross section subjected to an axial force or axial load. No need of drawing free body diagram. Directly we can write the given data. L1 is equal to 1000 millimeter, L2 is equal to 2000 millimeter, and L3 is equal to 1000 millimeter. Given Young's modulus of the material E is equal to 210 GPa, that is equal to 210 into 10 power 3 Newton per millimeter square. Diameter of the first portion is 32 millimeter, pi d1 square by 4, that is equal to pi into 32 square by 4 is equal to 804.24 millimeter square. So diameter of the second portion d2 is equal to 28, that is equal to pi d2 square divided by 4. The second value is 615.75 millimeter square, and the diameter of the third portion is 25 millimeter, that is pi d3 square divided by 4, that is equal to 490.87 millimeter square. It is asked to calculate total expansion, and we do not know the tensile load, applied tensile load. For that, given the stress in the smaller section is 110 Newton per millimeter square, since the bar of varying cross section subjected to a common tensile load, we can calculate stress in the we can calculate load P by considering the stress in the smaller portion. Next, we have F3 is equal to P divided by A3, that is F3 is the stress induced in the third portion. Therefore, P is equal to F3 into A3, that is equal to 110 into A3 490.87, that is equal to 53.99 10 power 3 Newton. So in the given data, we can mention that stress in the small section F3 is equal to 110 Newton per millimeter square. Now, asked to calculate total expansion. Total expansion delta L is equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. Here P and E is common, so we can take it outside. That is equal to P by E to L1 by A1 plus L2 by A2 plus L3 by A3. That is equal to 53.99 into 10 power 3 divided by 210 into 10 power 3, 1000 divided by 804.24 plus L2 2000 divided by 615.75 plus 1000 divided by 490.87. Solving this, you will get delta L, total expansion delta L is equal to 1.67 millimeter. So, like this we can solve the problems. We have taken almost all possible combination of the forces and the unknown values. Now, let us move on to next concept. So far we have come across a bar of uniform cross section. We also come across a bar of varying cross section. The next section which we come across is a bar of uniformly varying cross section or a tapering section. Tapering bars or bars of uniformly varying cross section. Bars of uniform cross section means it is we consider a bar of same cross section throughout the length. Then bar of varying cross section means certain lengths of the bar vary with their cross section like this. And having different lengths L1, say L1, L2, L3. So, for these cases we can find out stress and induced stress and strain. In practice, we may also come across bar of uniformly varying cross section. Bar of uniformly varying cross section means the cross sections will be like this, whose one section is with a constant dimension. It varies uniformly from one cross section to other cross section. So, here bars means bar may be a solid circular bar, a rectangular bar or square bar in case of uniform cross section. In case of bar of varying cross section also, it depends upon the requirement, maybe a square bar, rectangular bar or a circular bar. Here also in case of bar of varying cross section, we may come across solid circular bar or a rectangular bar of constant thickness. So, here in the first two cases we can find out the strain by using the fundamental concept of change in length. Fundamental equation which we derived to obtain change in length is delta L is equal to PL by AE, where P is the applied axial load, L is the length of the bar and A is the cross sectional area, E is the Young's modulus. When we come across bar of uniformly varying cross section like this or tapering section, we cannot use this the change in length expression to find out the stresses induced in the bar of tapering section. For that we have to obtain different expression and proceed. Let us consider one such type of bar for a solid circular one and next for a solid rectangular bar having a constant thickness. Let us consider first a solid circular bar. To derive expression for total change in length of a solid circular tapering bar whose diameter changes uniformly from D1 at one end to D2 at the other end when the bar is subjected to gradually applied load. So, this is the common expression we want to derive, and we can use that derivation whenever we come across bar of tapering section, particularly for a solid circular bar. Now, let us consider a solid circular tapering bar. Let small d1, it may be capital D1 also, whose diameter varies from capital D1 to capital D2 or small d1 to small d2. So, its one end diameter is d1 and the other end diameter is d2. Need not be d1 first, d2 second, you can take bottom d1 and top d2, no problem. This is d2. I can show it like this. It is subjected to an axial gradually applied load. Let us consider a load which is acting axially. The magnitude of load is say P. I can replace this fixity and show P here, or you can show fixity, so no problem. Let L is the length of the bar. In order to design derive an expression, let us consider an elemental strip of this bar of length say dx at a distance x from one end. So, now in order to obtain the diameter of this elemental strip, produce the bottom of the diameter so this value is d1 minus d2 by 2, and here this is also d1 by d2. Let this distance be k, diameter at the elemental portion. On both the sides it is k. So, we have considered a solid circular tapering bar whose diameter d1 varies from d1 to d2. It is a solid circular bar. The length of the bar is L, and let us consider an elemental length of the bar, elemental strip of this bar of a thickness say dx, which is at a distance of x from one end. And in order to find out the diameter of this elemental strip. Let us project the smaller portion of the bar, smaller diameter of the bar in the upward direction. So here it measures two fractional diameters k and k on either side, and this here at the the other end it is d1 minus d2 by 2, d1 minus d2 by 2. So we know diameter at the top d1 and we know diameter at the bottom d2, and also we know the diameter, fractional diameter at the elemental portion k on either side, and here the fractional diameter at the top is d1 minus d2 by 2 on either side. So with this marking and observation, we can comfortably derive the expression for this type of bar. Here the cross section of the bar at every level is a solid circular one. Here if I observe here, there are two triangles here. So the thickness is elemental strip, this thickness, you can see two triangles, one is, this is one triangle and this is another triangle. So two triangles you can see. So by using these two triangles or similar triangles, we can get the diameter of the elemental portion. In figure, from similar triangles, k by x from similar triangles again here, k by x is equal to d1 minus d2 by L by 2 by L. Therefore, k is equal to d1 minus d2 by dx, k is equal to d1 minus d2 by 2L into x. So this is a fractional diameter k. Diameter of this elemental strip is equal to, so diameter of the elemental strip is equal to d2 as it is considered by this portion plus k. So d2 plus 2k, that is equal to d2 plus 2 times of k is d1 minus d2 by 2L into x. So we get d2 plus d1 minus d2 by L into x. So this is the diameter of the elemental strip. Now, knowing the diameter of this elemental strip, we can calculate the cross-sectional area of the elemental strip. Cross-sectional area of the bar can be calculated at the bottom and top. So cross-sectional area of the elemental portion also can be calculated. Next, cross-sectional area of the elemental portion since it is a solid circular one, cross section at every level it is a solid circular section, we can write it is pi by 4 into d2 plus d1 minus d2 divided by L into x whole square. Next, to calculate change in length of bar of uniform cross section, we have expression delta L is equal to PL by AE. By considering this elemental portion as a bar of uniform cross section, we can find out the change in length. Next, change in length is equal to, again the applied load is P, L is dx, PL by A cross sectional area and E as it is Young's modulus is equal to P into dx that divided by A into E, pi by 4 into d2 plus d1 minus d2 divided by L into x square into E. So, this is the change in length of elemental strip. Now, the total change in length of the bar can be calculated, can be obtained by integrating the term with a range of 0 to L. Total change in length of the bar is equal to, take integration 0 to L P dx divided by pi by 4 into d2 plus d1 minus d2 divided by L into x whole square into E. Now, you can take 4p outside, 4p by pi into E outside, 0 to L dx divided by d2 plus d1 minus d2 divided by L into x square. Let us call this as equation 1. Now, let d2 plus d1 minus d2 by L into x is equal to y. Call this as equation 2. If you take differential, or if differentiating this equation 2 on both the sides, we get d1 minus d2 divided by L is equal to dy by dx. Therefore, dx is equal to L divided by d1 minus d2 into dy. Again, consider equation 2. Here, to find out the range of integration, in equation 2, if you substitute x is equal to 0, then y is equal to d2. And if you substitute x is equal to L, then you will get y is equal to d1. Next, at x is equal to 0, y is equal to d2, that is in equation 2, and at x is equal to L, then y is equal to, if you substitute x is equal to L get cancelled, it is d2 get cancelled, y is equal to d1. So, this is the range of integration. Next, substitute this integral range and dx value in equation 1. We get that is delta L is equal to 4p divided by pi e d2 to d1. Here dx is equal to L by d1 minus d2 into dy divided by y square. Divided by y square. Here we can take 4pl, L also outside, then pi into E d1 minus d2 also outside is equal to d2 by d2 to d1 dy by y square. So, if you integrate this dy by y square, you will get 4pl divided by pi e into d1 minus d2 is equal to minus 1 over y. It is d2 to d1. That is equal to 4pl divided by pi e to d1 minus d2 minus 1 over d1 plus 1 over d2. If you rearrange and write, you will get delta L is equal to 4PL divided by E into d1 d2. So, this is the desired expression for the change in length when a bar of uniformly varying cross section subjected to the axial load. So, delta L is equal to PL by AE, here delta L is equal to 4 PL by pi E into d1 d2. Here in this expression always d1 is greater than d2. To solve numerical problems, if they give different diameters, we have to use this equation by considering the fact that d1 is always greater than d2. In place of this small d1 and d2, you can also make use of capital D1 and D2.